Salutations and good morrow everyone, welcome back to another Grounded update video where today I'm here covering a patch that I'm a little late on covering actually. I didn't even see this one come out. For some reason I wasn't notified of this one, and I don't know if that's just because I've been trying to get other things recorded, so when my mods reached out to me about another Grounded update I just missed it, so I'm sorry guys. So we're going to cover this one really quick for all of you Grounded fans who just want to kind of know what's going on with Grounded and what bugs were fixed between when the initial 12.0 released, which was the Into the Wood update, and the 12.1 patch that is here now, and as well as when we're probably going to be seeing another patch come out for Grounded, which is probably going to be end up being sometime this week. So let's hop in. It says, hello everyone, we just released patch 12.1 in order to fix some issues you've been reporting. Please update your game as soon as we can to let us know if you continue to experience any further issues. So before we go any further, first things first, please thank you all for hitting the like button, but also guys, please make sure you guys note that there's not going to be a lot of changes and fixes inside of these updates that come out after the public test, because a lot of these changes are fixed during the public test. That's why they have the public test, but there are going to be some things that they are just not going to catch until the game actually hits full release. So major issue 1, bugs no longer pass through base walls when not looking at them. So in other words, what was happening is bugs were actually like literally just walking right through people's bases. They were just going, hey, I'm going in here. And then they just end up stuck inside your bases when you turn to look at them. So in other words, you get things stuck inside your bases all the time, whether it would be a larva, a gnat, a spider, a ladybug, heck, anything would just get stuck in there. And then you're stuck with whatever's inside of your base. And it's like, hi, I live here now. And you're like, well, now I'm going to wake up in the morning and there's going to be a spider in my base. Yeah, no, that's now fixed. That's not going to happen anymore. Other crash fixes: fix the crash related to turning off a waypoint marker on the map, fix the crash related to large bases, and fix the crash on boot having your OS culture set to any of other languages added in the Into the Wood update. So in other words, there was some crashes that needed to get fixed that they weren't expecting to be there, but were there. Other issues during the game: surveying resources as a client no longer causes performance issues. You can also access your pet rename screen using the gamepads again. So in other words, two things that were a little buggy got fixed, which is great. World: web doors in the hedge properly update their visuals for clients after the webs are chopped away. So in other words, you were chopping away the webs and they weren't doing anything. Now they are back doing things again. Scan.R dishes in the field stations properly rotate for clients when active. So the Scan.R dishes are now normally on each of the different outpost stations that you can find around, but now they're going to rotate whenever the field station is actually activated, and the Scan.R has been activated after you pull the lever that's over in the hedge. If you guys did not know that, you can guys go and find the video on my channel that gives you guys a complete walkthrough of how to turn on the Scan.R, because it is one of the best things that's been added to the game. Okay, items, equipment, and resources. Gum nuggets obey laws of gravity again. They'll no longer just float away. They will fall to the ground. Dewdrops no longer need to be shot twice or knocked down with arrows. Termite armor better fits all of the teens, so it's not so big and bulky on them anymore. The twinkling shell uses a generic bag model instead of the firefly wings. So I'm assuming that this may get changed in the future to give it a little bit of a better look, but people were getting a little confused on why it looked like that the twinkling shells were huge when it would come out of that tiny little scarab beetle. Now they are just using the standard bag that's going to drop on the ground. Creatures: health bar shows up on the grub after digging them up. Scarabs will no longer water into the unfinished part of the yard. This was a kind of a pain in the butt because a lot of people were losing their scarabs and saying that they couldn't find them anywhere. This has since been fixed. Audio: players no longer hear sizzle audio for other players when sizzling from far away. And fixes for Xbox Series X platformers: restore the survey overlay renders correctly. So in other words, now they have fixed up a whole bunch of things. From this, after playing it myself, I don't see a whole lot more things that need to be fixed in the game. We're going to load up Grounded now, and I'm going to run over to one of the resource stations to show you guys the little things spinning around. But just before we get over there, I don't think that there's a whole lot more that's going to be coming out for patches in this update. Also be aware that they're probably not going to be adding any other items to the game as well until the next update, which is going to be a few months off from now. Just remember that the public test build was not part of their standard updating cadence. So you have to take their standard update cadence from when the actual Into the Wood update hit. So we're probably, to be honest, guys, we're probably looking at a May update, maybe if we're lucky, April. For our next update, because it's going to be a little while before we see another update. It's going to be mid to end April, probably beginning of May, to be completely honest with you all. But let's hop over to Ground and let's check out some of these scanning locations. All right, y'all, so here we are back inside of the game of Grounded, and just really quick, y'all, I'm inside one of the resource stations or one of the waypoint stations. You can see where all of them tend to go out and spread out here across the map so you can see them all, and covers the entire yard. Just to give you guys a little heads up on how you can use these, you just click on one of them and you press the survey resource, and what it'll do is it'll highlight every single one of the selected resources. I like to click on sprigs or like plant fiber, because if you do that, you can see just the abundance of how much of it's in the backyard. Even in this upper area, in case you guys were wondering, there are different things up in that area where you can go and gather those, even in the upper yard area, where even something like dewdrops, which could be super helpful as well, are going to be in those locations as well. But what I wanted to point out, actually, even though it's dark outside and kind of hard to see, you can now see that this little guy is spinning on top of each of the stations for us to use. And if you look ever so closely, it actually does say scan.r on them whenever you're looking for these things out in the yard. So they are updated, guys. This is all the time that I had for this one. There wasn't really anything other in the update that I could like visually go and show you, other than like trying to find a SCA.B beetle, but finding those things takes like 3.5 hours nowadays. So that's a complete over exaggeration, but you guys know what a SCA.B beetle looks like. So guys, that's all the time that I have for this one. Thank you guys all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and as